Hey, good evening. When I build these airplanes, I try to make them better and better every year, and I'm shooting for a really nice airplane this year. Not to say the other ones aren't nice, but I'm trying to do all the woodwork perfect and come up with some new ideas. Well, the other night, Bob Hunt was on the Hangout, and he had this perfect fit molded skin uh, booklet, and I looked through it, and there are a lot of good ideas in here, but I'm changing it up a little bit. I I'm building a torque tube fuselage, and I'll tell you that it adds. The one piece started out a half an ounce, and then I cut it down, and it was 2 grams. Let's see what the torque tube weighs. What is a torque tube fuselage? This is right here, and this little baby here adds 7 grams. And I feel for 7 grams, the rigidity that's going to add is going to be well worth putting it in. So in order to make this, this is going to be a jet looking airplane. So in order to make this thing fit perfect, I wish I would have had I'll have to figure it out when I get there, because I need to make some new mold bucks for this, because the canopy is going to be forward and it's going to have a swooping back. But I need a pattern. So we're going to take this. This one here is 16, so that's good. That's the first thing we're going to do, is we're going to make a pattern here. Always striving for something better. But 7 grams for a fuselage that's going to be locked up. I mean, it should be spectacularly rigid. Let's change camera views. So, got a center line drawn. Let's put this on the center line. Yep. How I made this so it was absolutely equal on both sides was I cut the shape on one side and flipped it over to the other side. Okay. I'm just going to tack this in the fuselage to make sure that it's straight. This one I'm doing here is just the mold bottom so that I can make a buck for the molded skin. And top and bottom are exactly the same, except bottom's a little longer. So I only need one of these. Okay, so we're going to turn this upside down. Upside down. The long one's on top. And this back one I'll hollow out with a moto tool, with a Dremel. And this one here is gone. So is this one. And you put the airplane together. But I want to make sure. Oh, I got to have it the other way. Thanks, Wayne. What I did here is I put it together and I put pen marks on it so I know exactly where it goes to be a straight box. I might have to get my fuselage jig to make sure it's straight. I think I got it straight. That's why I'm just tacking it right now from the marks. Looks pretty good. We'll sand this up a little bit. I didn't quite get it right. So my thought is, you know how when you make a molded top block or whatever, you try to line it up on the other rib? Well, my thought is we're going to make the top block. I made that pattern. We're going to have the mirror image of the top block, and we'll just glue the ribs of the top block to that sheet and these two sheets together. That way it should be, this thing should be, you will not be able to move it. and it gained 7 grams, so I can live with 7 grams. Then I want to check it, and that's why it's only getting tacked. And then I'll come back and detail glue it if it's straight, which it was straight on the top, so we shall see. Just thinking of new things to make the airplanes better and not cost a lot of weight. I can say we can deal with 7 grams. Yep, it's straight. So now we'll come back and detail glue this, glue the bulkheads in. I think this fuselage is in the 5-ounce range right now. I'd like to get it all done for 9, including the cowl. Be better to have it in 7, but that's kind of unrealistic. This is all 16th that this is going together with. Okay, we need a tail post, which is going to be 1/8 inch. Do I have a piece? Probably not. Probably threw it out. Hi, cool cat, light given. Thank you. Let's get a tail post. I got to go over to the scrap box. Give me a second. That shit's jumping out at me. Yeah, we're gonna leave this anyway. Noise. Unreal. But I did find some nose block wood and another motor mount here. Yeah. Well, the bad thing is those pads are recessed. I don't know why Tom would do that. Let me look here. 1/8 inch. Here we go. So we need an 1/8 inch tail post. We'll cut it about 1/8 inch square. Perfect. Okay, so we need to detail glue this top here. The thing's solid. How many of you guys are going to try a torque tube fuselage? Probably not many. But I can tell you already, I can see the advantage to it. Probably overkill on that. Cranberry sauce. Yep, yep. Stuff in the cans much better than the real cranberries. Okay, now we can glue it good. Okay, how about this side? Somebody mentioned to me about using CA. I use a lot of CA. That white glue would be heavier, or aliphatic resin would be heavier because some of it evaporates. Whatever you put on out of this bottle is the weight on the airplane. Don't use a whole bottle to build an airplane. This has probably built 4 airplanes already, this bottle. I'm happy with that. I'm real happy with the way that came out. So now we want to sand, just to make it look pretty. Not only does sanding the inside of this make it look better, make you feel better, but it's structurally more sound. It doesn't leave any big stress riser with the jagged edge or whatever. Of course, for you guys who build kits and it all comes laser cut, it doesn't much matter. But if you're going to scratch build, and build an airplane from only wood, no kit parts, make sure that you sand the inside. Because when you crash and I come over there and I look at that and go, what are you doing? I've seen guys who crashed airplanes that the wingtip blocks aren't even hollowed. Take pride in what you do. Finish starts with the first piece of wood cut. And Steve learned that today. At least that's what he told me. I'm probably going to do a Thanksgiving stream for all you guys who have nothing to do, because I have nothing better to do. Got no family to speak of. I mean, they're all out west. Okay, I had a stick. I don't like the weight of this block, though. It's a good block, but it's a little too dense. Maybe I'll look for another block and I'll have to mill it. This block feels like it's 5 pounds. I think I got some better stuff over there. Where is that stick? There we go. Now, let me show you Bob Hunt's True Fit fuselage thing. If you look at that picture right there, you got all them sticks in there. I don't know if they're 1/4 inch or whatever, or 1/8 inch square balsa. This 16th would be lighter than that. Like I say, this here is only 7 grams, and it's boxed, so 6 to 1, half dozen the other. I mean, both good ways to do things, but boy, does that stiffen that up. I don't know why I'm worried about this. This will get cut out anyway. We gotta break this fuselage right here. No stone unturned. Okay, let's look at this now. Pretty straight. Where's that shorty? We want the shorty 80, not the 180. There it is. I can see an upside with the tail wheel mount too on this. The tail wheel mount will mount right to this back part right here. That's good. And we need to sand that a little better. I don't want to take too much off the day in line. It should be all right. So well, within the acceptable range for me. Maybe a little bit right there. Yep, that should be good. All right, there you have it. There's the torque box fuselage. I'll do the start doing the molds tomorrow, and should have them molded up by this weekend. Fuselage will be done. We'll put it together, and then the fun part starts, the finishing, the real work. This will get cut away too, because I got to get in there to super fill the wing in. But we'll make it look nice while it's here. Can't hurt. Can't hurt. Remember, if you're going to get incidents in your stab, make sure it's up on the leading edge, not down. It came out nice. This model, I've also already drilled my holes for the fuel outlet and the pressure side. The reason being is I wanted to get them close to F1 as possible, and in a straight line. So I drilled them before it went together. Usually it's, I'm thinking about things ahead of time on this model. Usually I'm doing it at the end. I think I might make this look like a pitot too, or a fuel. Yeah, it could be the fuel or the pitot. No, pitot's on the wing, so it'll be a fuel. Might have a streamline cowl like I used to do back in the 70s, 60s, and 70s. This is more a nostalgia build for me than anything else. It's not an airplane that I've built before, but it's in the style that I built back in the 70s. Late 60s, I was still building other people's airplanes, but come about 1970, I was building my own design. I'm pretty happy with this. It turned out pretty nice. And if you look at the way this is set up, this is what I'm talking about. It becomes like a big rock up here. So this is set back into the leading edge of the wing. There's a piece of plywood that goes across here to hold the bell crank in, top and bottom, between the motor mounts, because this gets cut away so that that plate can go in there. So this is glued on. It's glued on to the bell crank mount. If you happen to have fuselage mounted gear, that goes right here. So that's another thing. This is the cowl hold down. And then it gets all super filled inside, where I take super fill and I fill all this in, with a nice fillet inside and out. So it becomes one solid piece. If you could pull my bell crank out without the lines breaking, it would be a miracle. I mean, I don't have any idea how you could do it. I think you could tow a car with how this is set up. I know that I have pulled way over 100 pounds because I pulled the pull test machine, Jeff Traxler, my airplane, and the lines 5 foot 1 year at the Nats using this same, all the weight, the machine, and Jeff standing on it 1 year because I don't know. I guess I got an attitude, got pissed off or something. They kept loading it up, and I said, okay, no problem. We'll just pull it all. So I don't like this wood here. This wood here is just too nasty. Let's see. It's pretty heavy, I think. Let's check it out. 40 grams. Yeah, it's too much. Let me grab another piece. There was another piece of flotation wood. I think I got enough of this to do the job. Years ago, the Admiral shut down. And we had all kinds of Admiral wood. This is a flotation wood out of a ship, or actually a river barge, but that weighs 11 grams. So by the time I get these pieces cut and put in there, it'll be 2 grams. So that's better. We'll use that. Cut it right down the center, one on each side, get it trimmed. Might as well do that now. Give me a second on this sander to clean it up. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Pretty bad when I gotta mill my own lumber. Okay, so this is gonna be this side. Oh, I see what I was using it for. This came from 2004. I was building Thunderbolts, and that was the chin of the cow, that piece of wood. So that's a good thing. So we need that square. So okay, let me square this up. There it is. Boy, we got quite a few watchers tonight. Must be interested in the torque tube fuselage. Okay. Perfect. Now I could sand that by hand, but I'm gonna go back over to the disc sander and sand it with it because it's a lot faster. And I'm leaving it large so that I can perfectly sand it into the motor mounts. So that's one, and it weighs how much? Nothing. Yep, 2 grams. 2 grams. So we're gonna have 4 in it. Let's see, we need a 90 right here. Time for me to sharpen again. This is picamarker.com. PICA-marker.com. You're looking for a good marking pencil for cabinets. Or you can use a knife, marking knife. I'm going to glue that on with Tight Bond. For the simple fact, we're going to be sanding into that. Now, it would be quicker to just CA it on and sand it, but I'm not going to get to sanding it tonight, so it doesn't much matter. And when I break through the carbon into this wood, it'll leave a much cleaner line with the, and I'm really impressed with that Tight Bond 3. It really works good. Much better than regular Tight Bond. Much better. So we want to do this. These are both the same. Need to make a nose ring yet. But we won't worry about that tonight. We will worry about this. Let's see what it weighs. This fuselage weighs, and it's got the bolts in it too, 155 grams. Mode 5.45 ounces, five and a half. So I could foresee that we're going to beat 9 ounces easily. We'll be in the 7.5 to 8 ounce range. And that's really doable. That's good weight. We're hoping this airplane is in the 50s and not in the 60s. I think I probably ought to put that on wax paper. It might glue to the table. Maybe not. Before I put that nose block on, I'll take a sanding file and sand that perfectly into the motor mouth. It's got about 1/8 of an inch away. Guess I could buzz it a little bit more here. Definitely don't want to go too far, which it looks like I almost did. Yeah, it'll be fine right there. It'll be fine. Generous amounts of glue on these blocks because you're going to be sanding through this. And this gets glued to the nose ring, which in turn gets glued to the top shell. So you want this, this locks up the nose pretty well. Certain things you want to have some glue on. I'll just rub it on this. Well, that's going to do it for the demo tonight, looks like. We'll see what I can come up with for tomorrow. I guess maybe making them molds. And when this dries, I'll take it over on the disc sander and square this nose up so that the nose ring fits on there square 90 degrees to the datum. This all gets lined with 64th plywood. And I'll do that before I even start shaping this thing. I found that really works a lot better. Sometimes I get building so fast that I don't bother doing these preliminary steps, and you have to do it at the end, and it's just a pain. So just like drilling these holes, I never did them prior to fiberglass in the nose or whatever. But it'll just make it a lot easier, and I can get a accurate location where they are. So I'm pretty happy with it so far. You guys got any questions? Anything I can help you with? For the person who asked about Joe and his Venus, what color is it? It's not Dana Cream. It's aniline dye, clear, yellow. And whoever built it did a real nice job. Lots of dope on it. Lots of dope. It's got a nice finish on it. You just cannot get around it. If you're going to have a nice finish, it's going to take some paint. I've only built maybe 3 airplanes in my life that have been sub 60 and super nice finishes. And the Monado was one of them. It's just too hard to do. We're going to try it on this one again where I sand it and I got the veil. We're going to put the veil on it and, all that BS. The Jap tissue. I've already done the wings in original SIG silk span, not in that Rodak pinhole stuff. So, all right. I guess that's it. I appreciate you watching. Thanks for the support, and I'll see you tomorrow. Fair winds, tight lines. We'll see you.